Hello everybody, thanks for tuning in. Today I'm going to show you how to replace the gear cable for a standard Shimano derailleur. Now this is the 105 in particular. You commonly see these on road bikes, but also on hybrid bikes as well. Now this one in question is actually a hybrid bike, which means it uses road bike geometry in terms of the frame. It uses road bike components, but it then uses more like mountain bike gear ratios, thicker wheels and flat handlebars to make for a more comfortable, sedate position and more easily for going up big hills and such like. Anyway, the principle applies really, regardless of what derailleur you have. But for this one in particular, the first thing you're going to want to do, in fact with all derailleurs, is to get this chain down to the smallest sprocket, which means shifting to the highest number of gear, which means it then removes all the tension from the derailleur. So I'm going to do that at the shifter end. In this case, I think it's 10 gears. So we're going to go to number 10 and you're going to see that chain move and you're going to see this pop out. There we go. Right, it's all the way to the end. That means all the tension is now gone on the derailleur. What we can do now is to loosen this bolt just here. Don't undo it completely, otherwise lots of bits will go everywhere. And that is the bolt holding this cable. It means the cable will come loose. Now for you in particular, you would probably have a silver end cap. This one has gone missing. You're going to have to pull that off or use pliers, if not your finger and thumb, in order to get this through the outer cable, these black outer cables here. What you can also do then, maybe if you haven't got that to hand, is to just trim the cable with cable cutters. Either way, we're going to be pulling this through now. But one thing to note is if you're replacing the cable, unlike this one where it's nice and shiny, yours is probably going to be quite oxidized and covered in gunk and all the rest of it, because hey, that's the reason we change cables usually. So if yours is really gunky, the last thing you're going to want to do is to pull all the crap through. So if yours is really gunky, I would get some cable cutters at the entry point just there, so that you're not pulling all the gunky stuff through, but that's entirely up to you. Before you put anything through though, make sure that your cable is external like this one, as opposed to internally routed going through the frame and of course beyond the pedals up the diagonal tube. Because if your cable's inside and you just pull this through willy-nilly, you could actually lose your cable inside the frame. It's okay for getting the old one out, but you'll have no way of guiding a new cable through. So if yours is an internally routed cable, whereas in you don't see the cable after this point, then look at my other videos and you can see how to correctly internally route a cable as well. Anyway, for the purposes of this video, that's not the case. I don't need to cut this, but I'm going to just to show you. There we go. So if that was really dirty, it's no longer going to be pulling through, and you're literally just pulling the cable through like that. We're going to pull it through as well underneath the bottom bracket, which is the area by the pedals just under here. And then when it goes up here, again, it's externally routed, the cable here, just there. We're going to make our way up to the shifter. So I'm going to stop the video, I'm going to pull that through, and I'll see you at the shifter end. Okay, here we are at the shifter end. Now you can see here there's a small cap. It's kind of a screw, kind of a bolt, I don't think it really knows. But if you undo this, it serves really as a purpose of being a dust or weatherproof cap, just to keep the cable and the internals of the shifter away from the elements. There's a high chance yours has already gone missing if you have this system, but either way, get that off, keep it safe and put it somewhere where it won't get lost for putting back later. This shifter isn't specific to the derailleur we're working on today, so you may not have this shifter. Depending on what model you have, it should be relatively easy to get the cable out. Sometimes you have to remove bolts on this side and remove an access panel with which to see the cable end. But either way, I've done a whole ton of videos on different shifters. Just have a look on my channel and you'll find the right one, I'm sure. Now, remember, we moved that tension earlier on by the derailleur. So what you can do is you can pull this outer cable away. Normally that wouldn't be possible if everything was tight. But as I say, because we've undone it, we're all good. You can now see the end of the cable here. Earlier on, we moved the gears down to the highest number, didn't we? The smallest sprocket, which means the cable, there we go, should come straight out. If it's not coming straight out, chances are you've probably shifted up a gear and it can't come out. So make sure you go to the lowest number and you can see there that it comes straight out. And also, if you remember earlier on, I said we don't want to pull all the crap through if we can help it. What I do is I put up the cable here because we know this is going to be nice and clean because it spent its life inside the shifter. We're going to get the cable cutters, just cut it there. I really hope this is in focus for you guys. And then what we can do now is go down to the end of the cable at another point, which is just down here, forgive the focus, and we can just pull that all the way through. So no gunk has been pulled through the outer cables, everything is clear, and we're now ready to put in a new cable. Now putting the new cable back is actually quite a simple affair. We're going to go back through the access panel hole that we had a moment ago for removing the old cable. But one quick tip for you, if you remove the outer cable here and just wedge it in place, if this falls off, not a problem at all, we can pop it back on in a minute. But it then means you can see daylight, he says, hopefully through. Now it's a bit of a job sometimes to get this cable through. Not a massive job, but if you look down the length of the handlebar grips, sometimes that helps you get in the right angle for it to come through. So we're going to pull this all the way through now. And then we're going to attach this cable to the end of the outer cable here. But before we do that, I'm going to pop a couple of drops of oil, which I often do in my videos for gear and brake cables. You don't want the oil to go anywhere else, of course, but a quick drop or two makes the outer cable a little bit more lubricated on the inside. And obviously oil is hydrophobic, so it just helps protect the cable a little bit from the elements. If you've bought your cable already and it's galvanized, it's probably a bit too late to change, but I would recommend having stainless steel cables because they're just a bit better at protecting against the elements. Anyway, we're going to get this cable in here. And in fact, this one in here is it's not got the best end to it, so I'm just going to get my cable cutters and just trim myself a new end. The ends are normally soldered on these cables, but for some reason the solder on this one wasn't the best. Anyway, we're going to get ourselves through this hole here. There we go. And we're going to feed it all the way through, but it might get a bit caught at the other end. So if we just bring the camera down, I'll show you. Sod's law, it probably won't be caught for me, but it's best to show you how it might look. So here you have the end of that same outer cable, and off camera, I'm trying to push the cable through. You can hear that, and it's not going anywhere. The resistance is either going to be this ferrule, the end cap, or it's just getting caught on the brazing. So give it another push through when it's outside of the brazing. You can hopefully still hear that conking. So that means that it actually is getting caught just here. Let's just get you a bit more in focus. What you can do is you can either twist and remove this end cap, or you can just bend the cable slightly and try and make things look a bit more straight. And that might be enough just to get it through. Oh, and there we go, straight through. So we're going to pull that through. I'm going to pop that into the brazing again. There we go. That's nicely and locked in position. I'm going to pull this cable, and then I'm going to move the camera rather, back up to the shifter, and then you can see what we're dealing with. So here's the shifter. Hopefully we're in focus. So I'm just putting that excess still. We don't want to bend the cable if we can help it, kink it in any way. Now we're up to there. You can see that this cable hasn't completely gone in. So I'm pulling the cable through, and that has now located. The reason you'll know it's located is if we expose the cable again here, I can put it through. Actually, I can't. That's not a bad thing. Let me just twist the cable around a little bit just to make it more obvious for you. No, it's not come back through. In some cases, you will have the cable misbehave. There we go. So it might misbehave like this, where it will actually come through all the way. So the way you need to make sure that your nipple, your end cap, is completely in place is if you pull the cable away from you on this end, you'll see the cable's pulling itself towards the shifter. Keep pulling and it goes back out again. If it doesn't do that, then it means the nipple hasn't actually settled into the correct place. But in this case, it obviously has, which is really good. So again, pulling on the cable off camera where the other exit point is, we can do the same again, just to make sure that's in. So we're still in the highest number, the lowest sprocket, if you like, on the chain, on the cassette at the back. We're now going to route the cable through here. Again, if you're internally routed, then you need to do it differently. And then I'll see you at the derailleur end. Well, hopefully I haven't lost you with all the talking so far, but what we're going to do is this final stage of getting the cable through. I've already added a couple of drops of oil for the same reasons as before. This should make its way all the way through and out the other end here. There we go. So we're going to pop this into the brazing just there, and we're going to pull down, and now we've got a whole load of excess to play with, but we're going to attach this now to that bolt, making sure things are all aligned. Now, this is assuming your gears worked just fine as they did. They would have been a bit sloppy because your cable almost certainly would be stretched by now, which is why you want to change it in the first place. But assuming your chain isn't falling off the smallest sprocket or the highest sprocket, then we're ready to go. What we need to do is to adjust the bike slightly by spinning things round and looking down the length. Looking down the length of the bike, you can see here where things are slightly off. So the derailleur itself, the derailleur arm, is slightly this side of the final sprocket. That's exactly what should happen. So this is how we're going to adjust it. Using your thumb here, which is on the end of the derailleur, you can see there's a spring going on. So we're going to push this through, add some tension, and while adding the tension, we're going to attach the cable down here. It's going to come around at a different angle and just show you again, just to make sure that you've really got the gist of this. So we're going to push like that, and while holding that tension, we're going to thread the cable through here. Holding that cable where it is, we're going to do this bolt up. Now, I should have said, you've nearly always got some play, some movement here on your barrel adjusters. I should have said at the beginning of the video, make sure your barrel adjusters are all the way in and then back off a whole turn. If things have been removed an awful lot, you will know because the silver part inside of here will be really sticking out. So I'm just kind of hoping and guessing that your barrel adjuster isn't about to come out. What that means is then we can do some fine-tune adjustment with this in a moment. Anyway, that's done up to a point. I'll do it up more tightly in a minute, but I'm going to just shift up a gear, and if this goes straight into the next gear up, oh, that's 2 clicks, 1 click, then it looks like we're in business. Now there's a bit of scraping, that's because it's in the wrong gear on the front derailleur, so I'll just change that. Well, there we go. So I'm going to shift back down, and that's fallen quite nicely. Shifting again, and it's moving quite nicely. So one thing we can check is by looking down the length of the bike again. Do you remember we did that a moment ago? And we can just make sure that the chain here running up the arm of the derailleur is bang in the middle between the sprockets, and it looks like it is to me. So with this barrel adjuster, just to show you, if you were to turn it anti-clockwise, then it will tighten this cable and push the derailleur arm that way. Can you see it moving? And that obviously, you can see the kink really showing now. And obviously that's going to be too tight a cable. By going clockwise in, it goes the other way. And it goes too much towards the other end. So you need to make sure things are perfectly level and straight in between the two. If I pedal, hopefully I'll be able to show you what happens when things go the wrong way, because you can hear clicking. So if I go too much this way, can you hear that noise? And in fact, you can see the chain trying to move. That means that there's too much tension. So there we go, that noise. So if we go clockwise, that noise will disappear. If we go too clockwise, then it will start making that noise because it's trying to go to the other sprocket. Can you hear that? So we're going to back up again and find the sweet spot. So this isn't bottom gear, this is bottom gear but 1. I think that's gear 9 of 10. Anyway, I think we're about there in the middle, but one way to check is to go back down to the biggest number, the smallest sprocket. And you see it took a long time to shift into that just then. Maybe we just need to back off the pressure, the stretching of the cable a little bit. Let's go back now. Oh yeah, straight in. So we're going to go into gear 9, and then 8, and then 7, and then 6. And you can see things are going really well. So we are in business. And all the way back down again. Now if you've got some movement, some noise off the chain at the top end, we've got that rattling noise, and not at the bottom end, or vice versa, the chances are you're out of alignment. This silver part here, the gear hanger, is probably at a dodgy angle. That's for another video. This is purely just to show the replacing of the cable and then getting your gears indexed and aligned again. So hopefully this wasn't too talky a video. Hopefully it all made sense. In conclusion, this derailleur you commonly see on road bikes, but although this is a flat, straight handlebarred version, on a hybrid bike it's exactly the same. Loosen this, but don't remove it completely. If the cable isn't internally routed, just pull the cable through. I would give it a bit of a chop to make sure there's no gunk. Get the end of the cable out through the access panel, pull the cable through, a couple of dabs of oil in the outer cable, thread the new cable through all the way round, do it back up again, and then add that tension to begin with your thumb and finger, tighten it up, look down the length of the bike, and because you've got a bit of play here, hopefully, one way or the other, you can then adjust the cable, the chain left and right as you're looking down the bike to make sure things are nice and true. And there we are, job done. I hope that makes sense, guys. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch. I know it's a long video, but there's no point racing through and missing bits out. Remember to like, remember to subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.